Struggle is something we all face. No one is exempt from challenges, pain, or hardship. But what most people don't realize is that struggle is not just something to endure. It's something that transforms you. The moments that test you the most are the same moments that have the power to shape you into the person you were meant to be. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. Growth happens in the struggle. Think about it. When you go through something difficult, you're forced to tap into strength you didn't even know you had. You're pushed to dig deeper, to push harder, to keep going when everything inside you wants to quit. And in that process, you change. You become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. But if you run from the struggle, if you avoid discomfort, you also avoid the growth that comes with it. Look at nature. A tree's roots grow deeper when it faces strong winds. Muscles only grow when they are pushed to their limits. A butterfly only develops the strength to fly by struggling to break free from its cocoon. If you remove that struggle, you remove the process that makes it strong. The same principle applies to you. Every challenge you face is strengthening you, preparing you, and molding you into something greater. But the problem is, most people see struggle as something negative. They see it as a sign that something is wrong, that life is unfair, or that they aren't capable. That's not true. Struggle is a sign that you are growing. It means you are stepping outside of your comfort zone, reaching for something more, and becoming better than you were before. The key is to shift your mindset. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what is this teaching me? Instead of seeing struggle as a burden, see it as an opportunity. Think about the greatest success stories in history. Every single one of them came from a place of struggle. The most successful people didn't get there because life was easy for them. They got there because they refused to let struggle stop them. They faced rejection, failure, pain, and disappointment, but instead of quitting, they kept going. And because of that, they didn't just survive their struggles, they grew through them. You have that same ability. You have the power to take your pain and turn it into strength, to take your failures and turn them into lessons, to take your struggles and use them to fuel your success. But it all comes down to one thing, your mindset. So the next time life gets hard, don't see it as something that's happening to you, see it as something that's happening for you. Because the person you become on the other side of struggle is stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than the person who never had to fight through anything. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens in the struggle. Life is full of moments where you will feel like giving up. The pressure gets overwhelming, the obstacles seem too big, and the setbacks make you question whether it's even worth continuing. In those moments, you have a choice. You can let your circumstances break you, or you can let them build you. The decision is yours. Most people don't realize the power of their choices. They think life happens to them, but the truth is life happens through them. What does that mean? It means that the way you choose to respond to hardship will determine whether you rise or fall. It's not about what happens to you, it's about what you do with it. Some people face adversity and allow it to defeat them. They use their struggles as excuses. They tell themselves, I can't succeed because of what I've been through. I can't be great because of my past. I can't move forward because life hasn't been fair to me. But then there are others, those who face the same hardships and use them as fuel. Instead of saying, I can't, they say, watch me. Instead of making excuses, they make a way. Instead of letting their pain define them, they use it to push themselves forward. That's the difference between people who stay stuck and people who rise. The ones who grow through adversity don't see challenges as the end, they see them as the beginning of something greater. They understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every failure is a lesson. Every moment of pain is an opportunity to develop strength. And because they refuse to let their struggles break them, they come out on the other side stronger than ever. You have that same power. You may not be able to control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to see your hardships as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. You can choose to take responsibility for your future even when life feels unfair. You can choose to rise no matter how many times you've fallen. But it starts with a decision that no matter what life throws at you, you won't give up. that you won't let pain turn into bitterness, that you won't let obstacles stop you from chasing your dreams, that you will use every hardship, every failure, and every struggle to build yourself into someone even stronger. Because at the end of the day, you are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you choose to respond. Your struggles don't make you weak, they make you powerful. And when you decide that you will not be broken no matter what comes your way, you unlock a level of resilience that nothing can take away from you. So make the choice. Decide today that you will be built, not broken. And when you look back, you'll see that every challenge you faced wasn't there to stop you, it was there to make you unstoppable. See, life has a way of throwing blows that feel like they'll break you. You ever been in a moment where you gave it everything you had and it still wasn't enough? You showed up early, stayed late, sacrificed, prayed, pushed through the pain, and life still hit you with something unexpected? Life has a way of testing us in ways we never expect. One moment, everything seems to be going according to plan, and the next, we're hit with challenges that shake us to our core. It could be a personal loss, a career setback, a betrayal, or a dream that seems to be slipping away. In those moments, it's easy to feel like life is unfair, like the weight of our circumstances is too much to carry. But here's the truth. It's not the situation that defines us. It's how we respond to it. Think about it. Two people can go through the exact same struggle, yet come out of it completely different. One person lets the situation defeat them. They let the pain turn into bitterness, the struggle turn into an excuse, and the setback become permanent. The other person, they use it as fuel. They take the pain and turn it into power. They take the disappointment and turn it into determination. The difference isn't in what happened to them, it's in how they chose to react. That's the key. Your response to adversity is what shapes your future. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you handle it. And that's where your power lies. We've all heard stories of people who face unimaginable hardships, yet refuse to let those hardships define them. Athletes who suffered career-ending injuries, but found a new purpose in coaching or mentoring. Entrepreneurs who lost everything, but built something even greater from the ground up. Survivors who went through unthinkable tragedies, but turned their pain into a mission to help others. These people weren't immune to struggle. They weren't lucky. They simply made a choice. A choice to rise instead of fall. A choice to fight instead of fold. Your circumstances might be tough, but they don't have to break you. What will break you is letting them define you. If you believe that your situation is the end of your story, you'll live as if that's true. But if you believe that your circumstances are just a chapter, not the whole book, you keep turning the page, you keep pushing forward, you keep finding ways to grow, learn, and become stronger. It's not about ignoring your pain or pretending challenges don't exist. It's about understanding that they don't have the final say. You do. Every hardship you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself just how strong, capable, and resilient you are. The mindset you carry through adversity will determine whether you rise above it or let it hold you down. So when life hits, ask yourself, am I going to let this moment define me, or am I going to define this moment? That choice, that decision, that's where your power is. Because your circumstances don't define you. You define you. There are moments in life when everything feels like it's crumbling around you. The challenges seem too big, the pain too deep, and the obstacles too overwhelming. In those moments, it's easy to believe that you're not strong enough to handle it, that maybe you're not built for this. But let me tell you something, you were never meant to break. You were built to overcome. About the strongest people you know are the ones whose stories inspire you. Do you think they became strong because life was easy for them? No, they became strong because they were tested. They went through the fire, and instead of letting it consume them, they let it refine them. The truth is, struggle is not a sign of weakness, it's the birthplace of strength. Every challenge you face is shaping you, molding you, preparing you for something greater. Look at nature. A diamond is formed under extreme pressure. A seed has to be buried in darkness before it can grow into something incredible. A butterfly has to fight its way out of a cocoon to develop the strength it needs to fly. That same principle applies to you. The difficulties you're facing right now, they're not meant to destroy you. They're meant to shape you into the person you're destined to become. But here's where most people get stuck. They start believing that their pain is permanent. They start thinking that just because they're struggling now, they'll struggle forever. That's a lie. Pain is temporary, but what you build through it can last forever. Every single time you push through a tough moment, you're proving to yourself that you're stronger than you think. You're proving that no matter what life throws at you, you will not be broken. The difference between those who rise and those who crumble is not talent, luck, or circumstances. It's mindset. It's the decision to keep going when quitting feels easier. It's the belief that no matter how hard things get, there's still something inside of you that refuses to give up. It's understanding that adversity is not a stop sign, it's a test. And every test you pass makes you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's ahead. When life puts pressure on you, you have two choices. You can let it crush you, or you can let it create something powerful within you. And I promise you, you were made for more than defeat. You were made to rise, to push through, to overcome. So the next time you're faced with a challenge that makes you doubt yourself, remember this: you weren't built to break. You were built to endure, to learn, to grow, and to come out stronger on the other side. Keep fighting, keep believing, and never forget, you are stronger than your struggles. Life has a way of placing obstacles in our path that seem insurmountable. You work hard, give your best effort, and yet challenges still come your way. It's frustrating, it's discouraging, and sometimes it feels like life is working against you. But here's the truth: the obstacles you face are not the end of your journey. They are opportunities for growth, strength, and transformation. Most people see obstacles as roadblocks. They hit resistance and they stop. They assume that if something is difficult, it's a sign they should quit. But the truth is, resistance is a sign of progress. If you're facing challenges, it means you're moving forward. It means you're stretching beyond your comfort zone. Nothing worth having comes easy. And every great achievement in history was met with obstacles before it became a success. Think about it. If everything in life came without struggle, you would never develop the strength needed to sustain success. Every successful person, every champion, every leader has had to overcome something. They didn't reach greatness because life made it easy for them. They reach greatness because they refuse to let obstacles define their limits. Obstacles are opportunities in disguise. They force you to grow. They teach you patience, resilience, and perseverance. When you face adversity, you have the chance to develop a level of grit that most people never reach. You learn how to push through when things aren't perfect. You learn how to adjust, adapt, and keep going. And in the process, you become stronger than you ever thought possible. Imagine a person training in a gym. If they never increase the weight, they will never get stronger. The struggle is what builds the muscle. Life works the same way. The obstacles you face are like the weights in the gym. They are there to build you, not to break you. They test your will, your determination, and your character, but if you embrace them, if you see them as stepping stones instead of barriers, you will find yourself achieving things you once thought were impossible. It's easy to wish that life would be smooth, that things would go according to plan without resistance. But that's not reality. Growth happens in the struggle. Strength is developed in the battle. And the people who understand this, who embrace obstacles instead of running from them, are the ones who rise to greatness. So when life puts something in your way, don't see it as a reason to stop. See it as an invitation to step up. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What opportunity is hidden within this challenge? Because obstacles are not there to block your path. They are there to shape you into the person who is ready to walk it. If you refuse to quit, if you refuse to back down, you will come out stronger, wiser, and better prepared for everything life has in store for you. The obstacle is not the end, it's just the beginning.